Hello everybody and welcome back again to Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, something is different. I am now wearing a fancy shiny white Nux skin coat. How did this happen, you may ask? No, it's actually been a few days since I recorded the last episode. I had a lot of episodes pre-recorded already, and I figured that maybe I should wait a while, take a break, and let my uploads catch up with the actual gameplay a little bit. However, I didn't want to stay completely out of the game, so I decided I would do some of the stuff that I wanted to do off camera anyway, like, gathering resources. So I've been all over this place again, and as it turns out, there are a lot of Nugs running around. They were not there the first time I explored this place, but they are there now, and they were small and cute and squeaky, and I killed them all. Although they apparently seem to respawn, so it's a renewable resource. There are also a bunch of Druffalos somewhere in this area. Again, they were not there the first time I've been to that place, but I also killed a bunch of them, just for their leather and for future crafting. And then I made this nice coat out of the Nux skin that I gathered. The coat that I crafted last episode, I just gave that one to Cassandra, so it's not going to waste. As a matter of fact, I have not only been all over this place again, I also went back to the hinterlands to gather some resources. But I wanted to make sure that nothing happens while I did that off camera, so I've only been to the places that I previously explored anyway, because I figured that most likely wouldn't be much going on anymore. And to make sure that I wouldn't trigger any party banter off camera, I actually went there alone. So I thought, if I only have Freya in my party, there can't be any party banter. So basically I've been soloing it for a while. I mean, most parts of the hinterlands are fairly safe now. There are still some areas where you meet wolves and bears and bandits, and sometimes you even run into groups of level 8 bandits. And the bears are all level 8 as well, so that was kinda interesting to fight them alone. But with the help of a few potions, it's possible to fight them even if you're just one person. And I mean, Freya is pretty tough. She can handle herself. So yeah, been gathering some resources. But yeah, after a few days of grinding, it's finally time to do some real stuff again. If I remember correctly, in the last episode, we mostly spoke to Cullen and made him kind of uncomfortable in the process, I think. But I already said this, but I'm just going to say it again. I really like that you can speak so much to your companions again. That was something I was really missing from Dragon Age 2. I mean, I thought that the character stories were one of the better parts of Dragon Age 2, but speaking to them a little bit longer than just, those few short conversations would have improved things even more. And I actually think that it also helps a lot with the whole process of flirting. I mean, some of the flirt options in Dragon Age 2 were a little bit cringe-worthy, and I actually skipped some of them because they seemed really inappropriate at the time when they were offered to you. And I think that is partially because you never really spoke casually to your companions, except for some few exceptions. Most of it was related to their quests somehow, and most of it were a very serious setting, and the flirt options always seemed a little bit out of place. And they also tended to be kind of blunt, because they had to get to the point very quickly, since you didn't really speak that often to them. So, I mean, I spoke to Cassandra, and I spoke to Cullen, and I think there were like 3 flirt options in that discussion alone, and it seemed much more natural. It started very subtle and not so blunt as some of the flirt options in Dragon Age 2. And I really like that a lot. And it also makes me very comfortable in using further flirt options, because they probably won't be, I won't be inviting people into my bedroom the second time I use a flirt option with somebody. And I like that a lot. Anyway, yeah, today I want to speak to my new companions, Vivienne and Sera. I'm not sure if I'm going to exhaust all of their dialogue options today because I want to go back to the hinterlands and get some actual stuff done in the next episode. And as usual, before I do any sort of talking, I can actually check back on my war council because the advisors have long returned by now. So let's do this. And after that we will speak to our new companions. Let's see, I knew there were some missions going on. I'm not exactly sure what they were. Right, I just sent him to gather some coin. And yeah, there's some stuff going on here.
Sent? Yes, thank you.
Alright, the Chantry remains. My diplomatic efforts were successful. Many clerics are appreciative of our help. Those who despaired that others listened to only the loudest and most divisive voices. While the Chantry is a political ally for the moment, I should caution that there are clerics who believe this was a ploy to control the divine election. We have not heard the least from them. Alright, so this actually went pretty well, so I guess it was a good idea to send Josie on that mission. Truth or Dare, the Imperial Court. Nightingale, 100 shadows to chase, heading to Lake Celestine. The nobility says it's lovely this time of year. Fisher. I think this was something that I did for Vivienne. I bought some rumors about the Inquisition and I sent Liliana to investigate the rumors, so that worked out pretty well too. And we actually have a new mission. Investigate the strange chalk markings. Excerpts from Rector's reports. Do you know the sign? A triangle point down, 2 wavy lines through it. A lookout spotted it in chalk on a ruined wall close to one of our outposts. A cursory inquiry into the symbol has revealed nothing. Archivists are still looking. Argent thinks she saw the symbol or something very like it, scrawled in a ledger that belonged to the Comtesse de Bayard. A sweep was done as you ordered. Almost every outpost of ours has been marked in this manner. Many believe we are being watched. To what end we do not know. Huh, interesting. Josephine, I could follow up on Argent's lead. The Comtesse de Bayard is reclusive and has remained steadfastly neutral in all matters, but I'm certain I can find some way to gain her cooperation. What about decoy outposts? Set up a near trade route and watch carefully. If someone decides to take out their piece of chalk, we'll have them. Huh. And Cullen doesn't participate. Yeah, I mean Liliana is faster. And it's kind of a convoluted but clever idea, so sure, let's have her do this.
Let's see what we have.
Yes. And I don't think there are any other missions that The Secret of Andraste. Right, I think I wanted Josephine to do this one, but she was busy the last time. I know of several and even scholars who can be discreet. They would happily translate the runes for us. Yes, right.
Let us begin.
Josephine can do that. And yeah, I'm sorry, Cullen. I don't think I have anything for you to do, so I guess you can just, I don't know, stand there and look dashing. Oh well, you can gather some coin, I guess. So yeah, let's
all right.
do this. All right. So everyone's busy. And I'm going to go and speak to... I guess we can start with Vivienne. She's right over here.
You built for them the golden city.
Alright, here she is.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
in my opinion, she was there because her family asked her to, and she just wanted to do them a favor to fix things a little bit with her family, and not because of deeper political interest. But I guess this chaos harms everyone would kinda be her opinion about it. Yeah.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
And you'll help decide. Yeah, I'll do all I can.
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I don't think that she believes Untrusted shows me, or shows her. The Chantry will be restored. She isn't very religious either. No one should have that power. I'll use it to chain things. Well, I think she wouldn't completely disagree with that sentence, but now that she has it, I think she wants to make good use of it. So yeah.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
Alright, let's talk a
Yes?
little bit more, maybe. Oh! Well, I've just been speaking about the flirt option in this game not being as blunt as they were in Dragon Age 2, but this is pretty straightforward, this is pretty direct. I don't think she would use this option unless she actually was, you know, interested in something more serious. And since we don't really know that lady yet, I'm not going to take that one just yet. Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
So, where are you from?
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if
I
you must
see.
know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Montsimar while still an apprentice.
Mm-hmm. And how did you become a courtier?
I'm curious how a circle mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the
sure.
eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the
I
position of
see.
Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
So you married a duke?
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine.
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
Alright, I see. And what exactly is a court enchanter?
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
Well, apparently she already has a significant other, so I'm not sure if this actually would succeed anyway. So never mind. Let's speak to her
Yes?
again. Yeah, tell me about the circle.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
Wasn't the circle disbanded?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The circle is an idea, my dear. And an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
Alright, I see. Shouldn't you replace Fiona?
If you led all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not
okay.
Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
Alright, so what was circle life like?
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves.
Well, that actually
Some people
makes a lot of
suffered
sense.
and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
I would agree with that. What about your experience?
So tell me about your personal experience with the circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face, nor see the world as we do.
And was confinement hard? Well, apparently she wasn't as confined as other mages if she became a courtier, and apparently she was able to live outside the circle.
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at
Yeah.
my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the first enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive. Perhaps too permissive, in retrospect.
Interesting. So how did the rebellion start?
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Alright, and were they justified?
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
That seems a little bit harsh, though. I mean, I can completely understand why they would vote for that in this situation, given the reaction to Ender's attack. Because instead of trying to, arrest the person who was guilty of the attack, the Templars just stormed off to kill the entire circle. So, if you're a mage living in another circle, what sort of message sends that to you? Like, we just sit here and wait for somebody else to screw up, and we will have to be the ones to pay for that. So I guess there was a lot of fear on both sides. I mean, sure, normal people afraid of magic, but also mages afraid that they are being, round up and executed for something that somebody else does. I can understand that they, in this situation, voted for independence because there simply was no more trust between both sides, I believe. And I can understand that the mages felt that they were no longer being protected in the circles, but just, were just there waiting for somebody else to commit a crime, and they would be the ones to bear the consequences. So, do you know Fiona?
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
So, mages are fighting mages?
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that, but never mind. Let's speak to her again. Sure, I want to help the circle.
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the circle?
After the circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
So I'm just supposed to find some books for you. Yeah, sure, why
I'll
not?
look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the circle would be in your debt.
Favors the first Enchanter. Find the circle tome in the hinterlands. Western approach. Exalted plains. Yeah, I think we can do that. Okay, I think I spoke enough to Vivienne. I haven't really decided how Freya stands on the whole circle issue. I mean, she comes from a family of Templars, so I think she has no problems with Templars, even though she isn't very close to her family and didn't want to become one herself. I think she can also understand and sympathize with the mage's desire for freedom, because, I mean, she kinda rebelled against the restrictions put on her by her noble birth. So I think she can sympathize with that. When the circle still existed, I don't think she was particularly vocal about, I don't know, abandoning them or something like that. But now that all of this has happened, and the circles are, well, essentially gone, no matter what Vivienne says, I think she recognizes that you have to move forward. And I think that's something that is very strong in her character, that she never looks back, she always looks forward. The circle system, in her opinion, has failed, for better or worse, and now you need to find something new. There's no use going back. You never go backwards to a system that has failed once. You always go forward. You always try to find something better, something new. And I think that would fit her character the best. So I don't think she has any interest in restoring the circles. Not because she had problems with them while they existed, but because she thinks it's a flawed system, it has failed, you don't use the same flawed system twice, you have to find something better. Anyway, let's talk to Sera now. I think she's actually inside here, so let's have a look. Yep, here she is.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
Yeah, there's more going on, like that hole in the sky.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it.
Yeah.
But I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
That's right. Yeah, you think it should be easy?
Right. They should know it's a simple job. End all war. Stitch the sky. The easy one first, of course.
You're daft, yeah? Most people get special, they lose their snark. Can't see how stupid it all is. I think I like you, Lady Herald. Maybe you are a little touched, yeah?
Oh dear. Well, I said I would be using the flirt options if they sound not too inappropriate.
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Lady Trevelyan is cheeky. See you, Herald. Herald. I have to do something about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty awful title. I agree with that. Oh, I have a new operation available. Let's talk to her a little bit more.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
So I can kick her out again. Interesting. Let's investigate. Thoughts on the Inquisition?
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling it an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Does this lot even know what they're chasing? Fair question for me as well, I suppose. Everybody following a rumour. At least I'm used to that.
Any opinions about our allies?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which, the ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Oh, more gossip. Yeah, Solus?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Alright. Varric?
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Yeah, there could be something to that. Cassandra?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
And Vivienne?
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch, but she knows. She better.
You're very, very direct, aren't you? And my advisors.
What do you think about our spymaster, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
Okay, thank you for that assessment.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Yeah, let's
Chasing
talk
mages,
right now.
that's a Templar's job. A big, armoured, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
I need a lock picked. Tell me about your background first.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh yeah? Interested, are you?
She's the first one who actually approves once I ask her about herself. The others were always a little bit guarded. So who trained you?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Not typically.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
Alright, so, where are you from?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
I can make evasive jokes too.
Oh, you're from wherever. I'm from north wherever.
What?
North wherever. Oh, we had fun on street and or in local tavern.
Oh, hardy ha. Oh, funny you. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
Alright, yeah, I guess you're different for an elf.
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine more. Like that Solus, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
I think I know what you're saying. So you're saying get over it?
I think there's more to it than that. A few thousand years more.
Hey, someone wants to be angry about old debts, be angry. Be a terror that never lets an enemy forget. But if you're digging it up so you can wear it, that's just weird. I mean, the Dalish don't really know. They have stories, but that's all they are. It's all fancy dress, not history.
Well, I can understand that maybe she doesn't want to be classified just by the fact that she's an elf, but you know, she's a individual person and not just, you know, and she isn't just defined by the fact that she's an elf, so yeah.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
I think there were some
Your
more
wish
options.
is something.
Tell me about your friends.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Alright. So, what does your group do?
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
Well, good to know.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserve.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
So, your friends are basically some sort of medieval anonymous collective that play Robin Hood against nobles. Did I gather this correctly? Alright, so was there ever a Red Jenny?
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, yeah? An even spread is all it takes.
And do you share the blame too?
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
I suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
Yeah, I expected people from you.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, they wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
Alright. So it's strength in numbers.
So lots of little contributions add up in the background, like snowflakes that snap a branch.
What? Sure. Like snow, I guess. Anyway, it just works, most of the time. Friend of a friend and little hints. Mind you still have to be smart. Don't bet your life unless you're into that. Risky, yeah? But you like a bit of a tease.
Well, as long as it works, I guess.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
Alright,
We'll
that's all.
talk another time.
It's all good, innit?
We'll talk again now.
Hey, it's you again.
Yeah, I need a lock picked.
I was wondering if you could look at some locks for me.
What, the doors under the chantry?
You know about them.
Places have doors. I just wasn't interested in poking through some sister's breeches. Good to know about you, though. Consider them open, yeah?
Alright, so I guess I can go through those doors now. Yeah, interesting new companions we have there. But the episode is long enough, and I think I have actually used up all of my dialogue options. So I'm going to end the episode now. Next episode I want to go back to the hinterlands and do some stuff. Specifically, right, the Lone Warden. This looks like another companion recruitment, so I'm going to do this first. And I think before I leave to the hinterlands, I may do a quick round through the camp and speak to my companions again, because people have been telling me I should talk to them often after missions because they get new dialogue, and I haven't spoken to at least some of them since before I went to Val Royeaux. So I'm probably going to do that before I head out into the world again. But yeah, as usual, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you again next time.